Now, from a global standpoint, and with your Epsteins and Weinsteins, etc., this is such a tightly knitted web, unfortunately. And this is why it affects the boys from One Direction or anyone in the music and entertainment industry, whatever industry you're in, is because it's a very, very small circle of people. Who pull the puppeteering strings on behalf of the big bad wolves, that look after all of the big bad wolves that we can ever think of and imagine, which is so messed up. And that goes from newspapers, magazines, everything you can think of, but also uh, uh, judges in certain courts. That goes for lawyers in certain states. And I would never say anything that I wouldn't be able to prove in the court of law, having studied law myself. So it this is why the illusion or the fear that is instilled in people feels very, 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 very real. Because it doesn't matter what papers you've signed, could have signed a napkin in a Hollywood bar. The illusion of fear is what people are most afraid of what is threatened, of you'll never work in the industry again, or you're going to have to cover all of the legal fees of $500,000 plus, or and then if you start out very young, as which the boys did, myself, Cher Lloyd, and so on and so forth, did in the industry and the X Factor, that's all we knew what life was music, then who are we without it? A very, very scary place to be in.
Can I get a mic check, Katie?
Yes.
Awesome. I just wanted to make sure you guys could hear me now that I switched my headset. I find it interesting that you bring up Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively after what they did to Justin Baldoni. He has massive ties over there in the UK because he owns that football club. And
Oh,
so there's a
Nikki, you got no idea.
oh my
Oh my God, the girl who pretended to be my best friend for all of those years, who did that whole Blake Lively smear campaign, who was representing just, oh my God, this is a whole nother story for a different space. But yes, she represented Justin Baldoni's PR, crisis PR. But she but also the other girl that partnered with her was from Jonesworks, and I worked at Jonesworks in New York. It's crazy. So I spoke to Stephanie Jones about this, and I'm like, what the frick is going on? um it is so corrupt. Blake Lively, I believe, has done nothing to the extent of what is being publicized about her, because it's the same person who, again, like, oh my God, this is what she does though. But that girl takes vulnerable, like, newbies in the industry of PR and so on and so forth, manipulates the crap out of them, makes them do all of her dirty work so her hands are clean, if that makes sense. Vicky?
yes, ma'am. Sorry, you were breaking up on
Oh,
me.
sorry. It's just because I'm on 2% of battery and I've got to go and charge my phone. But yeah, it's so messed up. So the whole. Okay, 1 second. Sorry. That's the most amazing cheese sandwich. I can't believe my son is still awake at midnight. Yes, amazing. Um, so the person that I'm talking about that pretended to be my best friend for all of those years did a huge smear campaign against Blake Lively, but she also did the same to what's her name? Who was John Amber Heard. because she represented Johnny Depp. She also did the same when she represented Sacha Baron Cohen against Rebel Wilson. And I have all of the messages on my phone. And also her sister took care of Ghislaine Maxwell while she was doing Jeffrey Epstein's PR.
No
Yeah,
way.
yeah. I have everything on.
Everything, they're all connected always.
Yes.
And see, this is how it is. That someone will always make sure that they have something that you're desperate for and that you need.
Yes, but that's why I want to be so protective over the boys of One Direction. And this is why I believe that Liam's not here anymore. This is why Cheryl Cole in the UK, she's never in the limelight anymore. It goes far deeper and darker than anyone could ever possibly imagine in terms of coercion and manipulation, especially with Simon Cowell, because money is involved. His best friend is Philip Green, who was the owner of Topshop that then went bust. Um, but they're very strategic on how to hands clean. But I'm sat on this huge pile of evidence that I try to give to the United States police, but no one's interested in even picking it up. It's so
Because you have to find an attorney that's just completely non-corrupt and that doesn't care about losing their license. And I guess it
yeah.
would
Well, good
also
luck with
depend
that.
on where they're licensed. I just don't call me princess. You have your account locked, and then every time you request and you immediately start waving your hand. That is poor spaces etiquette. So I'm sorry, but we can't actually see into your account to vet your account. So I hope that you enjoy being listener and you're okay with listening to the rest of this space. So thanks for coming in, and we are definitely happy to have you as listener, and we hope that you enjoy being able to just listen and take part in the space as a listener. We appreciate you coming.
What a great co-host. My lordy. Where can
Oh,
I get one
Nikki
like
is the
you?
ish. She's so cool.
For real.
All right, shout out to Nikki.
We have to protect the space. We have to protect you guys as speakers, and we have to protect the rest of the listeners. Sorry, but that's just something that I don't skimp on, guys. You guys are important to the space. I value you as people, not just as little icons on the screen in the space. So there is that.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you. Katie, will there be like a part
I
two by
think
any
maybe there
chance?
should
Maybe
be,
like
just because it's now 20 past
yeah.
midnight, and I'm just conscious of everyone in the big wide world that's either tuning in or is a speaker or wishes to speak and they haven't had a chance yet. Yes, I would absolutely love to do a part two. And thank you, Skittles. I love Skittles. I really, really, really do. And I love being part of your spaces too. So, yes, maybe we should do a part two because I've got to get my little man to bed at 20 past midnight. And the fact that he's still up, I mean, surely he's got to be a mini rock star in the making. But I'm not mad at
It's normal.
it.
Come talk to me
Yeah,
tonight at
okay,
midnight with my
cool.
son.
Yeah, he's
And
got FOMO, but he gets FOMO from me. It's fine. If you guys could see my kitchen of how he's been like making cheese sandwiches and such. But anywho, you can have that with the sound. Thank you very much. I know he's
oh,
yeah,
cute.
because he doesn't want to put it in the rubbish bin or the trash. So anyway, it's 20 past midnight. We'll go for another 10 minutes. I know that Swarajit's got their hands up. Nikki, I am so grateful for you to be a co-host up here. And also shout out to each and every one of you. Thank you for sharing the space. My next space part two will be recorded. I'm sorry that I didn't record this one. It was just because I wanted to protect people's anonymity and, give people a safe space to speak and share. Use mod, we haven't heard from you either. And wait, Wishnia, did you? Okay, I should really learn from Hitch Slap. Hitch Slap's great at this kind of stuff. Wishnia, did you have anything else that you wanted to land with? We'll go to user mod and then over to Swarajit.
No, just thank you, and I'm waiting for part two.
Oh, God bless you, and thank you so, so much. I will keep you posted for sure. We'll go over to Swarajit.
Hi, Katie. You
Good
mentioned
eye.
Johnny Depp. Yeah, Johnny Depp. You said that woman did the crisis PR for him as well.
Yes.
Um, do you think they buried something in his case, or what do you think
Yes.
happened? Okay, because I know he had like two separate trials, or something like that. So it was all very open, wasn't it? What do you think was buried?
I think that the narrative and the way that it was put to the public court of opinion was wrong. I also think, given the sensitive nature of said case, shouldn't have been an open hearing either. So the press and media narrative that was spun around it, but also the digital bot farming, trolls, etc. A lot of these people that spun a story digitally were not real. That's what they're very good at. The same's happened with Blake Lively in the Justin Baldoni case and Stephanie Jones. So, where websites were curated of I hate Stephanie Jones and smear campaigns and everything else. And so typically what happens is one follows the general tide of the overall narrative. Hudson, stop making toast, please. Um, that's where it's all went. Johnny Depp. Um, it's how do I best explain this? Again, Johnny Depp's lawyers, they have a very close relationship with said person. That was my best friend for a long time. And unfortunately, and this is what I also find incredibly frustrating, is that the courts, period, should not be focusing on external noise or relying upon juries with external noise that could potentially impact or influence their decision making, and actually stick to the law and statute of said case. I also think it's very peculiar that there was a case tried. I don't have all of the facts and information in front of me. Was it in? It was in a different state to where it should have been tried in, which means that there are different laws in said state. And I just, again, I find that awfully convenient, and nothing would surprise me if the person that pretended to be my best friend for all of those years, working alongside the lawyers and everything else, would encourage that trial to have happened in a state that would benefit Johnny Depp in a positive light, if that makes sense.
Yeah, thanks.
You're very welcome.
They also had a baby to hide, and that's the only last thing I'll say. Elon's baby.
With Amber Heard.
Okay.